Okay, we left off last time. Erev Yom Kippur, we were discussing that you don't say Mizmah L'Seides, no Tachten, no Avinu Malkeinu. Okay, so now there's a custom, Erev Yom Kippur, after davening, or any time Erev Yom Kippur really, you ask for, you ask for lekach. Lekach is honey cake. Now the reason for that, you go over, years ago the Rebbes would do it, or the Gabbai of the shul would do it, the Rabbi of the shul, whoever does it. So you ask for a piece of honey cake, lekach it's called, and then they give you a bracha, Shana Tova Mesukah. Now what's the origin of this custom? So it's brought down because in case it was decreed upon a person that year they have to beg, they should fulfill their obligation of begging by asking for lekach. So then and it's also sweet, and you give a bracha for a sweet year. That's the source of it. Lekach is honey cake.
Honey cake.
It's Yiddish for honey cake. You know honey cake? You want the recipe? Don't ask me.
But it's not next year yet when we ask for that.
It is. It's Erev Yom Kippur. That means if it was already decreed on Rosh Hashanah this year that we should have to beg, so right away, 9 days later, you did the begging already. That's the source of it. Now, Erev Yom Kippur, it's a mitzvah to eat. Believe it or not, it's a biblical mitzvah to eat. Because the Gemara asks the question. One pasuk says that Yom Kippur is on the 10th day. Another pasuk says, B'tisha b'chedesh ba'erev, on the 9th day, from evening to evening you fast. So the Gemara asks, the pasuk is contradicting itself. Are you fasting on the 9th or are you fasting on the 10th? So the Gemara answers what the Torah means is like this. You fast on the 10th. But by eating on the 9th, it's considered as if you fasted on the 9th and the 10th. So in other words, and as it says, even though the mitzvah of eating is easier than the mitzvah of fasting, obviously, it's the easier mitzvah, nevertheless, the Torah says, because Hashem has Rachmanis on our body, so to speak, so Hashem said, by eating on the 9th, so then I consider it as if you fasted on the 9th also. In fact, there's an interesting discussion in the Gemara. Why don't we have, there's 2 days Rosh Hashanah, 2 days Sukkot, 2 days Minat Atzeres, why don't we have 2 days Yom Kippur?
So we don't fall down.
And the Gemara said, I believe it's Rabbi Yochanan fasted 2 days.
48 hours fast.
Huh?
50 hours of fast.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Ramadan.
Okay, anyway, yeah, they cheat. Anyway, so the Gemara says, Rabbi Yochanan, so the Gemara says, why? Because today we do have a calendar, we do know which is the real day, and we're not going to fast for 2 days. I mean, that's basically it. But the Gemara says some people fasted both days, about 2 days in Kippur. Okay, so therefore it's a mitzvah to eat. And then one second, there's a mitzvah also the custom is to dip the challah into honey. Just like you did in Rosh Hashanah, you dip the challah, you dip the challah into honey in Erev Yom Kippur. Ideally, the Jewish custom is you have 2 meals on Erev Yom Kippur. One in the late morning, and then you daven mincha, and then after mincha, you daven early mincha, where you say al-chait and the whole things of Erev Yom Kippur, and then you go home, and before the fast, you have another another meal. So it says in halacha, even the Erev Yom Kippur in the morning, you should eat lighter food. It says like you eat chicken. Suda mafseket says you're not supposed to eat fish. In halacha it's brought down, you're not supposed to eat fish. So there's Suda mafseket, which is the meal right before Yom Kippur, because it makes you thirsty. There's an inyan of eating fish in the morning. And then also there's a mitzvah to eat kreplach. Kreplach is meat covered by a dough. Has Kabbalistic meanings, whatever. There are various different reasons for that. So there's a mitzvah to eat kreplach Erev Yom Kippur. There's a mitzvah to dip the challah and honey, to have a
Minhag or mitzvah?
What?
You just mentioned.
Those are minhag.
It was a mitzvah.
It's a mitzvah. No, it's a minhag to eat. It's a mitzvah to eat Erev Yom Kippur. That there is a mitzvah.
Is there the more quantity greater than?
No, I mean, some people would walk around with a candy in their mouth the whole day to be eating a whole day, but that's not what the book means.
Rabbi, why only Yom Kippur and not other fasts?
What? Because they learn it out from a pasuk in the Chumash. The Torah says, by eating, it's like you're fasting. So, it is a Yom Tif. Erev Yom Kippur, where there's no Tachnun, it is a Yom Tif. Because we know for sure Hashem is going to bless us with a good year, and we're going to be forgiven on Yom Kippur. And the Gemara learns that out from the pasuk. The Torah is teaching us, I want you to eat on Erev Yom Kippur. So the Torah says it. What?
Another reason why we don't fast 2 days is that because our bodies can't take it.
I said the bodies can't take it also, but that's why the Chacham didn't institute 2-day fast. Okay, now it's also a custom to get lashes out of Yom Kippur. Not real lashes, but symbolic lashes.
The latest, the way they do the lashes.
Yeah, no, not those eyelashes, no. This is you belt lashes, not eyelashes.
I need them.
Okay, so you have, so there's an order, you have, before you go to the, okay, let's go through the day of Erev Yom Kippur in the way many people do it. There's an obligation to go to mikveh Erev Yom Kippur. It's a chiv, a halachic obligation to go to mikveh Erev Yom Kippur. There's different reasons. Is it because of tshuva? Is it because of like conversion? But there is a mitzvah to go Erev Yom Kippur. So many people, in fact, go to mikveh 3 times Erev Yom Kippur. They go in the morning, either before they do kaparis or before shachris. Then the main time is they go before mincha, Erev Yom Kippur. And then there are those that go to mikveh again right before Kol Nidre. So there are many people that go to the mikveh 3 times. In fact, they tell about the Rebbe's father. He lived far and was in Russia. And so he went to there was an inyan to go 3 times. He went to the river. So he got undressed, went into the river, immersed, got out of the river, got dressed, got undressed, went to the mikveh again, and got dressed, and then went to the mikveh a 3rd time.
Right then and there.
Right then and there. In other words, obviously he had a different calculation what we have. But there is an obligation to go to the mikveh. If you're picking one, which is the most important one to go, it would be before Tefillah. So in other words, the day works like this, an Erev Yom Kippur. You get up early, you go to mikveh, you do kaparas. Then you go to daven shachos. Then you get honey cake. Then you go home and you eat some type of a meal, or if that's your main meal, or like a little breakfast, and then you eat a bigger meal. Then before mincha time, which most shuls make earlier mincha, so then you go get lashes, and then you go to the mikveh, and then you daven mincha. The mincha is that. Then afterwards you go home and you have a big meal. Again, Suda Mafsekets, the second big meal of the day. Then some people go to mikveh again. After they finish eating, they go to the mikveh before again Kol Nidre again. Now, when a person finishes eating, this is important then. If you finish eating an Erev Yom Kippur, technically as soon as you finish the meal, the fast starts. So therefore, the best thing is at least mentally to have in mind that even though I'm finishing the meal, I'm not accepting the fast yet. That you can still eat or drink. Because you're allowed to eat or drink until sundown. Women, once they light candles, they can't eat anymore because they lit candles. For them, it's Yom Tov already. So that's the order of the day. Now, there's one more interesting thing I want to say. There's a din in Hilchos Shabbos and Hilchos Yom Kippur, obviously, is the same thing, that when a woman lights Shabbos candles, she accepts Shabbos. Okay? So what happens, this is very apropos, so to speak, Erev Yom Kippur, because a lot of women want to drive to shul. Women go to shul Yom Kippur night, so they want to drive to shul. So what do they do if they want to drive to shul? So the din is as follows, according to the way we hold. I mean, there are different opinions, but I'm saying the way the Alter Rebbe holds. When a woman lights Shabbos candles, if she wants, she can make a condition that she's not accepting Shabbos or Yom Tov or Yom Kippur. But she has to have somebody in the house must accept Shabbos within 10 minutes of her candle lighting. Other poskim say you don't have to do that today because we have electric lights. But the Alter Rebbe does say that if you're making a condition to be able to drive to shul, let's say, you need to be able, somebody needs to accept Shabbos within 10 minutes. So let's say you have a 5-minute drive to shul, right? Let's say. So the woman lights candles, gets into the car, goes to shul, there in 5 minutes, then she accepts Yom Kippur. If you have a 15-minute drive, according to the Alter Rebbe, you have a problem because somebody has to accept Yom Kippur within 10 minutes. So then somebody who's home, but whatever, should accept Yom Kippur within 10 minutes of her candle lighting.
Driving to shul.
Huh?
Speaking of driving to shul, before Yom Kippur, Beverly Hills has no parking restrictions on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
Excuse me. By the meters there are. Yes. Did they tell you clearly meters no? No. We had this already with them in Foothill for 30 years.
No parking restrictions on Rosh
Okay.
Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
Parking restrictions except, I'm telling you, check it out by the meters. Except by the meter, huh?
I'll look into it for you.
Okay, because we had that.
Zones and, things like that, but otherwise, I have to find out about street parking.
And best find out by the meters. I'll tell you why. We had that once, that the city said there's no parking restrictions. Okay, on Foothill, if you remember, there were all meters in front of the shul. So everybody, we announced it that the city said there's no problem. Everybody parked in front of the shul by the meters. There were like 30 cars by the meters. And they all got tickets on Yom Kippur. Okay? And I called the city, and they said, no, it never applied to metered parking. It applies to overnight parking. It applies to everything else, not metered parking. So then there was a guy, Stansbury, remember him? Ben Stansbury? He was in city council. He had an office upstairs from Foothill over there. He had a company, Ben Stansbury, his name was. So I went up to him with the tickets. I said, come on, what is this? It was like 30 tickets. I went to him, I said, what is this? They said, no parking restrictions. And all of a sudden, come on. He said, give me the tickets. He took care of it and finished. But I'm telling you, it's not so simple. You have to check out. I just don't want people to get tickets. Well, everybody has handicap anyway here. What's the problem? The whole city is handicapped. Okay. Anyway, okay, you have to go to Tevel in the mikveh. Okay, next.
Relating to time limit, street sweeping, permit parking, and overnight.
Yeah, that's not meters.
All other violations such as meters and red zones and peak hours, no stopping will be. Yeah, that's what she sent me.
I told you that. I know it from 46 years of
Not
the...
the meters everywhere else.
Okay. Okay.
Unless you
Okay, you're not supposed to give a lot of tzedakah Erev Yom Kippur.
You're not?
You are supposed to give. I would never say don't give tzedakah.
I thought you... Are she shocked?
Okay. On Yom Kippur? You're supposed to pledge a lot of money on Yom Kippur.
Probably when you say tzedakah, Erev Yom Kippur, it means like one day before.
Every day before, the whole 364 days before. Every day. By the way, it says, there's Yizkor on Yom Kippur. The Shchunach, you see, the Alter Rebbe brings it down. The main part of Yizkor is not to saying the Yizkor. It says in Shchunach, the main part of Yizkor that we do for the Neshamas is a tzedakah that you pledge at the time of Yizkor. That's what it says in Shchunach. And the Alter Rebbe brings it down too. That's the main thing. That's what Shchunach says. The main thing of Yizkor is the tzedakah which is pledged for their Neshamas at the time of Yizkor. And you're allowed to pledge money on Yom Kippur. You're allowed to pledge money on Shabbat. For tzedakah, I'm saying. All those things you're allowed to do. It's a mitzvah to do. On Yom Kippur especially. In fact, to the extent, it says in halacha, interesting, in a place where you sell aliyahs, then nobody comes first. Like this, a yartzeit is an obligation you have to give him, or if there's a kohen you have to give him. It says in a place where you sell aliyahs, if somebody outbids the kohen and that's it, you don't have to give the kohen an aliyah, you give the guy that bought it. That's what it says in halacha. People try not to do it, but I'm telling you what it says in halacha. And halacha says, in a place where you sell aliyahs, the one that buys it has it. It doesn't matter if it's a kohen, a yartzeit, he's getting married or whatever.
So anybody could buy coin too?
What?
Anybody can buy coin?
Machashina zeh ma'aseh ma'amech be'evel ma'in kim shavla gal teira.